It's Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Report. Dez Bryant is back on the practice field for the first time in 6 weeks. Let's go to First Take for the latest.
Dez Bryant will take part in practice Wednesday for the first time since suffering a foot injury in Week 1, a source told ESPN Cowboys reporter Todd Archer. Bryant is likely to be limited in his first work with teammates in more than 6 weeks, but his participation is a positive sign toward playing Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. Skip Bayless, Dez, gonna be back. Is he going to play Sunday?
God, I think I should do this,
Yeah.
right? It's been a long time since I got to do this, Stephen A.
Good, I'm a single shot.
Just for the feel goodness of it. Okay.
He's ignoring us.
Now, back to objectivity.
Yeah.
I guess there's a chance Dez Bryant will attempt to play against the Seattle Seahawks at Jerry World on Sunday. I'm going to go Stephen A. on the Steelers. As we heard earlier in this show, Stephen A. Smith took the stance that he does not want Big Ben to play yet. He should save himself to make sure he's ready to go for the back half of the season by not playing this Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh. That was Stephen A.'s earlier stance on this show. I'm going to take a similar one here on Dez. I do not want him to play against the Rough Riders that are the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom. I don't think it is worth the risk because, and I'm going to be honest about this, Stephen A., I do not like my team's chances against the Seahawks at Jerry World this Sunday. Seattle owes Dallas. Dallas embarrassed Seattle at Seattle, as you recall, last year. The Legion of Boom snacks on backup quarterbacks like Matt Castle. In fact, it'll be the equivalent. Matt Castle will be like Oberto beef jerky, just another piece of beef jerky for Richard Sherman.
You get out.
What you get, what you put in. Yeah, we get it. And so that little voice in my stomach, Richard will be dropping a little Oberto Castle jerky down his throat to you this time. I just
Shameless
don't
plug.
love it. I'm sorry. It's the wrong place, wrong time. If I'm Dez, I wait one more week just to make sure that your surgery will take and hold, and let's go ahead and let it all fly against the Eagles the following week at Jerry World. I'm okay with that. I just don't like our chances this week against the Seahawks at home, where the Cowboys notoriously don't play very well anyway. Your thoughts, Mr. Smith?
Well, Skip Bayless, first of all, let me say to you that I'm very, very proud of the position that you've taken. I mean, the fact that, you seem to be echoing my sentiments, I mean, it just shows that you're willing.
I'm learning.
Learning from the best.
On a daily basis.
At the foot of the
I'm
master.
just touched by that.
Yeah.
I
I even worked in Alberto. How good was that?
Hey, listen, man. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and they were talking to me about how if you go on Siri and you say Stephen A. Smith, it sounds like it's saying Stephen Naismith. So I love it. I give you credit for all of that because that's my favorite nickname of all.
You did. You invented the sport of basketball, Stephen Naismith. Yes.
Not just when it comes to basketball, evidently, you listen on other things as well. Because Dez doesn't need to rush back. Why rush back for this? I mean, that's what this comes down to. What he needs to do is use these next couple of weeks to get himself in pristine condition.
Yep.
So when Tony Romo comes back, he's ready to aid Tony Romo. Because one would argue that whether it's Brandon Whedon due to bad luck or Matt Castle with his QBR of 17 from last week with 17 of 27 passing for 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. There's but so much that Dez Bryant is going to be able to do if you got quarterbacks that tap dance excessively when pressure is applied in the pocket, when can't see over the line of scrimmage for whatever reason, or want to throw a football that has more air under it, that is almost like floating in a balloon for crying out loud, which is one of the passes, one of the interceptions that Matt Castle threw.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that perspective, I totally agree with you. I think it's entirely wise for Dez Bryant to wait. I think it's entirely wise for Dez Bryant not to rush back. It's good that he's back there practicing. I'll put up the X for you, make you feel better. But in the end, that's in practice. In the end, that's during the week. He has no business on the field in game time until, as far as I'm concerned, Tony Romo gets back. because there's little to nothing he's going to be able to do to help the Cowboys prior to that.
And I will remind you, most athletes who suffer this injury, this Jones fracture, take at least 3 months to get right from it. Now Dez Bryant's about to be 6 weeks into his rehab. I don't know. I don't love it. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't rush it.
At least take a 2 full months off, which means an additional 2 to 3 weeks from now. Before, I know it's hard because you're a Cowboy, and obviously they've lost 4 straight, and then you're looking at the possibility of them losing 6 to 7 straight. I know.
Make it 8, make it 9. Who cares?
I get it, but I just think that, you know what? He should hold out for at least a couple of more weeks before he even considers getting back on the field.
Listen, maybe it's going to uplift the team in practice today.
It might.
Maybe.
And,
maybe I wouldn't rule it out, Skip.
Who knows? Maybe the Giants will lose at New Orleans. You never know. Could they?
Maybe. It's possible.
Maybe.
It's possible, Skip. I mean, listen, we can't rule anything out.
No, we can't.
There's still
We could rule that in,
There's
maybe.
still hope for your Cowboys.
Another bold prediction. I'll wait for that one. I'll wait for that for later in the week. We already had the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, your thoughts, friends? Should Dez Bryant be playing, or should he wait another week? Tough call.